issue with information and communication.
We have an update to a 13 Help story we first brought you Monday. After we helped a Fruitport family, our story gained the attention of people from here in West Michigan and other parts of the U.S.
Yeah, many people say Frontier Airlines owes them money, so we listened to their stories to see if we can help.
Pretty much screwed us over.
I'm out a lot more money now than I would have been if I
will never fly with them again.
3 people with 3 different stories. At the center of it all, Frontier Airlines.
We're out $688.
$220 and some change.
They told me that I owed them $298.
In every case, the women say they tried to resolve things on their own but had no luck, so they gave up until they saw our story.
I get a lot of my news from my Google feed, and your story showed up there. And so, of course, I clicked on it because I'm going through a similar thing with Frontier.
Mallory Hodge lives in Fort Collins, Colorado. She says her issues started last November when Frontier Airlines lost her luggage.
We had no clothes, no toiletries, anything. And they told me to go ahead and purchase what I needed and that I would for sure be reimbursed.
She says she submitted the receipts for reimbursement but got declined, so she tried again, this time including a screenshot of her conversation with a Frontier rep showing she was promised reimbursement. Then, on December 23rd, she received an email from Frontier saying her reimbursement check should arrive within 4 to 6 weeks. Now, more than 6 weeks later, she says it still hasn't arrived.
It is regulated that they are supposed to reimburse for lost or delayed baggage.
Teresa Arsalowicz of Grand Rapids says her issues date back to last March when Frontier canceled her flight from Tampa.
And I said, is this flight canceled? I gave him our flight number and he said, yes, it is definitely canceled. And he said he did not have any other flights for 3 more days. Well, my husband and I had to get back to work. So we're like, so what do we do? He says, well, you can reach out to another airlines and we'll reimburse you.
She says a flight with Allegiant Air was booked for the following day, but then she saw her original flight with Frontier was no longer canceled. So she went to the airport hoping to head home.
The girl said, yeah, we had a glitch in the system. And because we did take that flight, they said, we're not going to reimburse you for that other flight. And I said, but if you would not have had that glitch in the system, I would have never booked another flight. I didn't need a flight out the next day if I knew this one was going to get me home.
Marcia Love of Grand Rapids is also dealing with issues following a Frontier flight to Colorado last October.
Every time I get an email from them, but my blood pressure goes up because I'm so frustrated.
She says the airline had trouble accessing her known traveler number, or KTN, which is issued to people approved to receive TSA PreCheck expedited screening.
You have to go through the regular check-in.
When she was flying back, she says she called Frontier Airlines inquiring about the KTN, but they were no help.
And so he finally said, you can just do it in the morning when you get on the plane. They should be able to take care of it for you. When we got to the airport, in Denver, there was a humongous line and we got there early, but we stood in line at Frontier for over 45 minutes. And then when I got up there, she couldn't fix my ticket.
She says the friends she was traveling with went through the TSA PreCheck while she waited in line with everyone else, ultimately missing her flight.
So I went to their customer service desk and that had a line. And she says, well, you missed the flight. It's your fault. It's $99. And she goes, and I can get you out on Thursday. This was Monday.
Love says she stepped out of line and booked a last-minute flight with Delta.
I called Frontier when I got home. They told me that I was at the airport. I missed their flight. I owed them and TSA or the airport a $298 for missing the flight. Needless to say, after seeing your story about the other gentleman, I thought it's time for me to call you too and let you know this happens to other people.
And that was just some of the people who reached out with issues. Frontier Airlines maintains the original issue with the Fruitport family was a one-off and not the result of any systemic issues. We are working with Frontier to get these other claims addressed, and we'll bring you updates as soon as we have them. If you need help with something, call the help team at 616-559-1313 or email help@13onyourside.com.